I'm here 1 minute before kickoff, which is close enough. How you doing, reluctant gamer? Hope you're good. Hope you're good, Grace. Grace with the emotes. I still need to update those emotes. Maybe I'll do it when the season is over. Grace is slightly offended that Stefan thinks he's my number one fan. I thought Stefan was the number two fan. Has Stefan been promoted to number one fan? I didn't get the memo, but it seems like there's a bit of disagreement. It'd be interesting to know who the number one is. I'm glad your comments are working now. You're not shadow banned by YouTube anymore. remember 2 weeks ago when the first comment came up and then nothing else came up, and then afterwards I just went on it and there's 100 comments saying, "Oh, what the fuck? Give me a sec. Why is that gone down? That's weird." Just disconnected for no reason, which is a bit strange, but I will fix that. That should be fixed. Hopefully, it should be fixed. I'll find out if it's not fixed. Really weird. It just disconnected by itself, but I think it's reconnected itself. But yeah, as I was saying, I think Stefan got shadow banned by YouTube, which is kind of funny. But it seems to be working now, which is good. They've kicked off on this game. No Verts, not that it makes a difference, but Rio is playing, so that's a positive at the very least. Seems to be working. What is it? Unstable internet? Shouldn't be unstable. Grace going crazy with the emotes. Is it like laggy or is it okay? Because I'm getting a message saying unstable, but it shouldn't be unstable. I think it might just be TikTok being weird. No, it's okay. Okay, that's good to know. On Twitch it's green, so I shouldn't be having any issues, and I think YouTube's working fine. I think. But no, it should be okay. But yeah, they kicked off like a minute ago. Give me a sec. Where's the timer, man? Where's the timer? Two minutes, 3 seconds. That should work. Fingers crossed. How are you? Haven't seen you for ages. I'm good. I'm alright. Went to Sweden, which is interesting. I got back on last Monday at like 2:30. So I got home at about 2:30, and then I had to wake up for work at 8:00. And in a way I was kind of tired, but in a way I wasn't, which was weird. It was like physically I was tired because I only had a few hours sleep, but mentally I was not tired in the slightest. So I might try that again. Kind of worked out better than I expected. But how about you? Hope you are good. Hope you are well. Kerkez is starting, which is interesting. Kerkez hasn't started the last few games, which kind of concerned me slightly. But he's starting today. Alim says thoughts on Mamadashvili. I think he's all right. I think he's fine. It's tough to have any kind of definitive thoughts on him because his tenure, if that's the right word, has been very stop-start. He'll come into the team, play a few games, and then when Alisson is back, he'll get chucked out. And then Alisson will get injured, Mamadashvili will come in for a few games, then he'll get chucked out. So you don't really know kind of how good a goalkeeper he is until he kind of settles into the team. I think he's a good shot stopper. There's some rumours that apparently Liverpool are not convinced by him, and Liverpool might go for Costa instead, which is a bit odd. But I think he's been pretty good. Tough when compared to Alisson. That is the thing. When you're kind of viewed as Alisson's successor, you're always going to get those comparisons, and so things are going to be it's going to put a certain amount of pressure on you, which you could argue is a bit unfair. Speaking of successors and pressure, it's going to be even worse for Salah's successor. Imagine that. Imagine coming in as Salah's successor. That's going to be not good. How's it going, Zaim? Hope you are good. Grace just been to Tesco and got our car's tires done. Very nice. That plant is growing. I'm glad someone's noticed because I did try and make this a thing. To say, look, I'm gonna put a plant on the thing there, that one there by my finger, and then we can see it growing. And then nobody gave an F. But I'm glad Grace has noticed. I'm like, look, it's strawberries growing over there, and it's a lot taller now. But yeah, let's see how it is. Apparently Gravenberch has scored. Ooh, nice goal, to be fair. Nice goal. That's what we want to see. The thing is with Gravenberch, he does have a tendency to do this. He's got a decent kind of long shot on him. The annoying thing is, if Gravenberch is going up, then who's sitting back? But it's I'll take it. It's a nice goal. Nonetheless. Awais says goal. Alim says goal. Banana Triple says, who's going to win? Tell me what you think. I think Liverpool are going to win 1-0 from a Gravenberch goal. But let's see. Is that world's strongest man? Alfie says 1-0. Come on. Yeah, Gravenberch has a tendency to do this. So like, I'm not surprised or anything because he's done this before. He's got a pretty good shot on him. You're hungry? I just ate. I literally like stuffed myself full of so much food before I started. So now I'm feeling a bit sleepy. You know when you eat like too fast, and then you're just a bit like, ugh. That's me right now. You should eat something, or should I say, what are you gonna eat? That is the question. Let me increase the score and maybe also refresh because I think I'm slightly behind. Ever so slightly. Stefan says, like, literally, oh my god, am I back? I think, like, literally, you are back. YouTube seems to have rescinded your ban. I don't even know why they banned you. It was weird because last time I was like, oh, Stefan's not here. That's weird. But maybe he's gone out. Maybe he's gone on one of his 15-mile walks with the backpack. I thought that's what's happening. And then after I finished the stream, then I saw the comments and I was like, huh? Nothing came up on my screen. And then I got a bit worried that something wasn't working in my whole setup. But I think it was a YouTube server side thing. But yeah, no, they seem to have fixed that now. I can see it. Did he sign a contract that had some insights that he's heading to Madrid? Who's the he? As in Mamadashvili or Gravenberch? Yeah, Gravenberch signed a new contract. Gravenberch signed a new contract about a month ago. It's Sabazlai who has not signed a new contract. Yeah, Gravenberch is signed. Super LFC says nobody cares about this game. Same here. Useless, especially when Jones, Gakpo, Gravenberch, and Galpo. Is that a relative of Gakpo? I know what you mean. I wasn't particularly enthused about this game. I wasn't looking forward to this game, but I figured since I wasn't here last week, I better turn up. That's basically the gist of it. Basically the gist of it, to be honest. Would you allow Gravenberch to go forward but then sign an actual 6 or limit him by staying deep? I think Liverpool need an actual 6. My whole thing is Gravenberch, McAllister and Wirtz. They're far too similar. They're all, and I don't mean this as an insult, but they're all kind of ballerina type players. They're all kind of elegant, got decent shot on them, got a decent pass on them, but none of them are kind of aggressive or kind of dirty enough, or none of them are really physical monsters. I think Szoboszlai is physically good, but even Szoboszlai, I don't think he's aggressive, but you can get more aggressive than that. I'd like somebody who's a slightly different profile, so like a typical ball winner, like even like a Jordan Henderson, someone like that, or a Henderson, or a Mascherano, or a Sissoko, or a Fabinho. Yeah, as Bailey is saying, beat me to it, like a Fabinho. I'd like somebody like that, just somebody who's a bit different, because I just think Wirtz, McAllister, and Gravenberch are too similar. Gravenberch is slightly more defensive, Wirtz is more attacking, and McAllister's in the middle. But I just feel like their core attributes are just way too similar. I'd like somebody different. I absolutely love Endo, but I think this manager's got beef with him. This manager's got beef with everybody. But and I think if you have that kind of ball winner in midfield, I think it instantly makes everything better. I think it instantly makes the attack better, and it instantly also makes the defense better because the defense is better protected. I think that's what you need. But that seems to be kind of falling out of favor now. Like that kind of type of player doesn't really seem to exist as much. Everyone's kind of ball players right now, or these days mostly. But yeah, I'd definitely keep Gravenberch, and I'd get like a ball winner type of midfielder. Maybe play Gravenberch in the games where you're gonna have more of the ball, so you don't need this new Fabinho. Whereas in away games, Van Dijk hits it over. Whereas in away games, play the new guy. Grace says there are lots of options I can choose from. I mean, all your options begin with the letter P, which is interesting. Catherine says hi. Stefan says YouTube tried to lock me out, but they couldn't keep me out. I win. Indeed, you do. You can. They're just showing the replay from the Van Dijk thing. You've gotten one up on YouTube. Not many people have. Oh, should I say not many people have who have lived to tell the tale, but you are one of them. Grace might have pasta, but I have to cook it. Do you not have to cook everything unless you get takeaway? Pasta is relatively easy to cook, to be fair. Just gotta stick it in water. If Kerkez was a midfielder, he would be perfect. He'd be effective as a midfielder. I just ultimately think this manager doesn't know how to use any of the new players. Like Kerkez last year, his whole deal was running up and down the wing and putting crosses in. And what do? We tell him not to run up. Look, even right now, he's central. Why is he so central? So we kind of move him central, and then we kind of complain that he's not as good. I don't think the manager's got the best out of Kerkez or Frimpong or Wirtz. Isak I'm willing to let go because he's played about 2 minutes. I'd say the only one he's really got a tune out of is Ekatike, who's now injured. Stefan says, even when I'm out walking, I would never miss a stream. I think they banned me for talking too much or claiming Man City exists. My theory is they banned you because you kept changing your username. I did some research on it. Apparently they consider that to be spammy behavior if you change your username on a daily basis. So that could be why. I thought this game was tomorrow. It is not. It is today. As Stefan was saying, if only there was a way to check. But with that said, apparently the Villa game has changed. Apparently the Villa game is on Friday now. Joseph says, if Slot is our manager in August, FSG have rewarded failure and are happy with mediocrity, or maybe they just don't care. That's an option as well. Maybe they just don't give an F. I think that's an option, and it's an equally concerning option. To be honest with you, I don't think he'll be the manager because he's got 1 year left on his deal, and they haven't given him a new deal. So they'd be going into the season with 12 months left. I think that is the biggest indicator that he won't be around next year. It's not a given. It's not a given for certain. But I think the fact that they haven't given him a new contract, I think that's an indicator he won't be around. Not perfect, just aggressive. I hope you'll be streaming the Champions League final. Possible. Oh, who's at my fucking door, man? Is that the wind? It can't be the wind. Oh, it's just some leaflets. Who gives a shit? Possibly. I'd have to check. When is it? Do you know when the date is? Because I'm going to Germany in a month. But you'll have to let me know when the date is. We've been very attacking, which is good. Well, better than last week. As in last week, the United game. It's a more positive start. It's a more positive start. I can't lie. But let's hope they can keep it up. This is the thing with kind of Liverpool. Sometimes they start very aggressive, and even in the games that they've lost, like take the PSG game, take other games, they start very aggressive. They're full of energy. But then after about 25 minutes, then the pace slows down. They're like a boxer who just who kind of throws all their punches in the first 2 rounds, and then they're exhausted for the remainder. So let's hope they can kind of keep this up. But I don't know if that's too negative. Stefan changed it 2 days ago. You can only change it once a fortnight. That makes sense. Grace says, so I can watch you next week if it's on Friday and not Sunday, or is that a different game? There's no game on Sunday. No. So I think the Villa game was originally on Sunday, but it got moved to Friday. I think that's what's happened. But yeah, just 2 more games left of this god awful season. Tall Paul, that is quite a cool username given it rhymes. Chelsea could be down by 12th. Really? Is it that close? In the last time I checked, it was pretty close, but I didn't know it was that close. But that's insane. That is insane. For a squad that they've spent the best part of £1 billion on to be kind of down in 12th, it's kind of embarrassing. It's partly their own fault. Hire manager, sack manager, hire manager, sack manager, hire manager, sack manager, no stability. Owner barging into the dressing room, owner trying to coach the team. It's their own fault. I can't even feel even slightly sorry for them. I mean, I wonder who they're going to get as a manager next. For the next 2 months before he gets sacked. Did you see the recent Salah Gerrard interview? I was watching it yesterday, actually. So that's good timing. I was watching it yesterday. Is this the one where they're sitting on a bench? They're sitting on the bench outside the Liverpool training complex. Yeah, I saw it. Nothing really stands out unless you're referring to anything in particular. I remember Salah was saying he wants Henderson to have a send-off because Henderson didn't get a send-off. I remember that. It was the usual, you're amazing. No, you're amazing. No, you're amazing. No, you're amazing. It was that kind of back and forth a bit. And then Salah was like, yeah, I'm amazing. But yeah, the Henderson point stuck out. I don't remember anything else from it. I think he asked him if he was going to come back as in one of the Legends games, and he said, yeah, he will. Yeah, nothing too controversial unless I'm forgetting something. Billy says at least ticket price is not going up anymore. They listen. That is good. Yeah, it shows when you get your point across, people do listen. I just wish they'd decrease the price of food and drinks in the you know when you go out the ground, that circular bit where they sell the food and drinks. I got a medium Coke Zero like last month, £3.50. I was like, what? £3.50 for a medium Coke Zero. So I guess it's too late to make them reduce the prices, but hopefully they don't increase those prices anymore either, because that was crazy. And I swear, like, I didn't buy it, but you can see at the top where they list the prices. I swear it said like chocolate bars £3, and I was like, what? That's insane. So yeah, they are taking the mick a bit. So you picked your next holiday. I wouldn't call it a holiday. It's only 2 nights. More of a small break. Yeah, you can watch your next stream then. Yes, should be Friday. I think 8 o'clock at night. Oh, yeah. Salah implied he's worried about the standards of the dressing room dropping. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. He was saying he's set these standards about kind of when he kind of comes to the gym, when he kind of leaves the gym. And he was saying he's spoken to kind of the guys up top that he doesn't want standards to drop, which is fair enough, which is kind of understandable. Slight dig. Yeah. No, it was when they were comparing the number of goals, wasn't it? They were comparing the number of goals. And then Gerrard said, yeah, but I played right back one season. And then Salah said, so did I. that was funny. That was funny. I think there's some beef with Slot, because there was a quote yesterday, wasn't there, from Slot, who said something along the lines of, Salah's been amazing, but you need to not just be amazing in the gym, you need to be amazing in other places as well. He said something like that. And people were like, wow. To be honest, my theory on this, with no actual credible information, is I just think Slot's not a very good manager when it comes to managing people. You had Klopp, who was a certain style of management, kind of hugs and would treat everybody as their friend, but never as his best friend. But he was more of a father figure type of manager. And then you go to Slot, who's the complete opposite. I think naturally you're going to get that conflict there. So that's what I think has happened. You had a certain type of manager who followed a certain way of doing things. And then you get somebody in who's the polar opposite. Immediately that has an effect, because immediately kind of players are kind of, I don't want to say scared of you, but sometimes a change can elicit an immediate effect. For example, if you have a teacher that you really, really like, and then when a new teacher comes in who's really angry, at the start, like, you're like, shit, I better get my act together. But then eventually you just get sick of them. I think that's what happened. And I think that's why they kind of won the league in the first season, as they had that kind of fine balance. But naturally, I think eventually they perhaps got sick of the way he talked to them, they got sick of the way he kind of treated them, and that's why eventually I think people have turned off. Slot can't manage individuals. Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's a kind of different style of management. I think Slot's style of management would have worked a lot better back in the day, whereas these days that doesn't work. And you can just see with Ten Hag. Take Jadon Sancho as an example. If you talk to people the wrong way, you just lose them. Yeah, that's what I meant. So once you get out of the ground and you go into the cafe bit, Coke Zero, medium Coke Zero in Anfield is £3.50. A chocolate bar is £3, which is wild. I should be calling you Brittany. Yeah, yeah. Wait, what was your one again? What was your one? You had one as well, didn't you? Talking of prices, my hairdresser died. He was £7. Next up is £12. About a £5 increase due to a heart attack. Okay, I mean, I feel like you're phrasing it as if his heart attack is more an inconvenience to you. You're like, damn him, why did his heart have to give out? Now I've got to cough up an extra £5. Whilst he was coughing up blood, I've got to cough up an extra £5. But that is a wild increase. But to be fair, if you had £7 haircuts for a while, that's pretty good. £12 is not too bad, but it is a over 50% increase, so that could be tough to swallow. Grace says, "Where's Isabel?" Good question. It might be too early, or she might be working. I want Chelsea to win no more games this season. Let them suffer. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue about that. I almost want them to suffer just for how they kind of keep hiring people and sacking people. Even though, I don't care about Leo Mancini, I don't care about Enzo Maresca. I just like that it sends a message to their owners who clearly don't know much about football, that they just can't treat people like this. They need to have some sort of coherent plan, not just bring a guy in, give him a 400-year contract and then sack him after 5 minutes. So I hope it sends them a message. Yeah, that was it. Jeanette. That's the one that you are. See, sometimes Gravenberch goes in for his tackles and he just completely misses the ball, and that's a problem, because if your number six goes flying in for a tackle and completely misses, then you're a bit screwed, because behind the number 6 there's nobody. I mean, when it pays off, it's amazing, but when it doesn't pay off, you're a bit screwed. But thankfully, Chelsea didn't take advantage of it. Do Liverpool get Champions League if they win here today? Is that enough? Or last I heard it was 4 points, but my brain might be outdated. Cucurella picking a fight with Konate. I mean, he's the last person I'd pick a fight with. I'd pick a fight with Van Dijk before Konate. Like, why would you pick a fight with Konate? They have slowed down a little bit, which is what always happens. But let's hope they keep it up. Grace says, "Say hi to Mom. How are you? Hope you are good. Hope you are having a good." What day is it? Saturday. And if you're not having a good Saturday, it's only the afternoon, so there is time. There is time to fix that. I have cleaning planned today after this, which I'm looking forward to. What do you think about Gakpo? I'm not allowed to say what I think about Gakpo. If I say what I think about Gakpo, I will get cancelled. It was almost at the point, to be honest with you. It was almost at the point where yesterday I was thinking, no Salah, no Isak, no Ekitike. Do I really want to watch Cody Gakpo up front? Do I really want to do that? Cucurella's through. Saved by Mamardashvili. See, Mamardashvili's fine. Like, he's fine. People hating on the guy, but I don't think he's all that bad. Actually, no, that's unfair. I proactively think he's quite good. And I think goalkeepers get better the more that they play in the team. His problem, Mamardashvili's biggest problem, is Alisson. Because as soon as Alisson is even slightly fit, Mamardashvili gets thrown to the side. So it's hard for him to build up any rhythm. RH says, how is McAllister starting? Probably because of all the injuries. Curtis Jones is playing right back. And Wirtz is also injured, apparently sick. Wirtz is sick, and Jones is playing right back. So there weren't really many other options. Ollie says, Rio has been brilliant. I don't have a clue how he managed to keep the ball with 5 players on him. It's pretty crazy the way the ball kind of sticks to him. And that's kind of why I want to see him get a few more games. I know they're trying to be a bit pragmatic with him because they don't want to injure him and they don't want to kind of ruin him too early. But he's probably the one bright spark in the team. And the thing is as well, he's a different type of winger, because if you look at the other wingers, Salah is more of a kind of fake striker. Gakpo is a fake footballer. Whereas Rio is more of a traditional winger who will actually take his man on. So I like that about Rio. He's different. Mamadashvili and Kirkes have been improving, really settled in well. Don't get the hate for the fan base for both. I don't get it either. I don't understand. This is the thing when I was saying earlier, I don't get why people hate him. Like I think he's good. What like from a Kirkes perspective, I understand maybe they'd want a bit more assists, but I'd argue the problem is the system, because he's not getting out wide in this system. He's very central. Whereas Mamadashvili, has he really done anything wrong other than not being Alisson? I know people are like in love with Alisson, and I get it, but I don't know what Mamadashvili's really done wrong. Grace has 1,000 channel points just by watching this. What are channel points? What do they allow you to do? Fish says, sorry I'm late. That's okay. You are forgiven. Would rather see James McConnell over McAllister. Is he on the bench? Is he the one that went out to loan and then got recalled, McConnell? How about Trey Neone? Like, Rio's getting a bit of a chance in the team, but I haven't really seen Trey Neone get much of a chance. Surely he'd be next in line to start getting a few minutes here and there. So if Trey's on the bench, hopefully he can come on at the very least. Stefan has washed his football shirts using my advice with perfect results. Good to hear. Yeah, I've never ruined a single football shirt. A lot of people complain about ruining their shirts and stuff's peeling off, or stuff getting ripped in the washing machine, and that's literally never happened to me when I follow those instructions. Cucurella is looking a bit dangerous, I can't lie. And I'm not referring to the hair, I just mean on the wing. Grace is having trifle. I've not had trifle in years. Trifle is a underrated dessert. Yes, he was at Ajax. I think McConnell is better than Neone defensively, and probably McAllister right now. McAllister's been absolute garbage recently. I don't know if his legs are gone, but it can't be that. It can't be that his legs are gone. He's far too young for that. I don't know what's going on with McAllister. I've got a feeling he won't be around next year. I think they will probably sell. Because Carlos McAllister, McAllister's dad, came out this week and said, Liverpool have not offered us a new contract, but we are also not negotiating with any other team. So I was like, okay, that's a whole lot of nothing. But wouldn't surprise me if he moved on. Reese says Stefan Baccetic, Trey Neone and Jadon Dans are being integrated in pre-season. Cool. What do we mean by integrated? I guess would be my question. Because quite often these players, they do get integrated in pre-season, but as soon as the season starts, then they get thrown in the bin. Just think back a few years, like Sheyi Ojo used to always play in pre-season, but then as soon as the season start, thrown in the bin. Jayden Danns is he's injured again, isn't he? I'm hoping he can kind of come back and not get injured. Getting a place in the squad, according to reports, could be false. I'm not sure. It's possible. I guess we'll have to kind of wait and see. But does that mean if they're getting integrated, does that mean they are not gonna buy players in those positions? But Bajcetic would surprise me. I almost feel like with Bajcetic, they've kind of made their mind up. But Trey Neone and Jayden Danns, I can definitely understand. When will the fantastically named Welity Lucky get another chance after his one substitute appearance? Well, if he is lucky, potentially today. Is he the guy that kept scoring own goals? It's not, is it? That's Amara. Is that Amara Nalo? That whenever he comes on, scores an own goal. Built-in options provided by Twitch, including highlighting a message, unlocking a random emote for 24 hours, or modifying an emote. Nice. So if you've got 1,000 points, then you redeemed it to 100. What the fuck is that? What the fuck was that? What even just happened? I don't even know what happened. They just basically just kicked. Like, okay, so they took the free kick. Who was it? I mean, I think Kanate is playing him on side. They come up with like all these amazing like tactics and all these amazing, instructions and all this level of complication and, set piece coach, free kick coach, defensive coach, attacking coach. And how does this team score? They just kick the ball forward once and then they kick the ball forward a second time. That's all they do. Forget your tactical coach. You don't need no tactical coach when you're playing against this shit bunch of clans. Just kick the ball forward once and then kick the ball forward the second time and it'll probably go in. Jesus Christ. We do need to strengthen the squad. I mean, from a player perspective and also from a tactical perspective, given kind of how bad that defending was, don't let them score again. I almost feel like you need to solve the manager equation first, and once you solve the manager equation, then buy players to fit what that manager wants to do. Zayn was correct. We slowed games down at 1-0 and then we just end up conceding. It's just such not a Liverpool thing to do. And I don't even mean just in the Klopp days, even before that. When Liverpool would get a goal, then they'd go for a second, go for a third. But nowadays, it's like get one and then just sit back and pray for the best. Have you seen the top of the Polish league? You have been keeping me updated on the Polish league. I see that Gornik won the cup the other day, which will make Fish pretty happy. It was poor. I mean, I can't even say poor defending because it wasn't even defending. I don't know what it is. Like, it wasn't defending. It wasn't a banana. It was nothing. It was just people half asleep. I genuinely can't even call that defending. The whole setup to that goal was kick the ball forward once and then kick the ball forward the second time. That's it. No complication. It's a bit of a joke. Bit of a joke to kind of concede that, if I'm honest. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Reese says the high pressure pressing is no longer a thing with us, unfortunately. I agree, and it's so boring to watch. This is why, for me, you could put. I can't get. Oh shit! Chelsea are through again, but good save by Mamardashvili. This is why I cannot get excited about any new player until you change the manager. You could add any player to this, and it's going to be the same garbage. Pick whoever you want. Pick any top player in any league. Put them in this team. It's not going to make much of a difference. So I think you need to solve the manager equation first, and then once they solve the manager equation, then I might get excited. But right now they're kind of linked with like Yan Diomande, and I'm like, great, he's gonna attack for 15 minutes and then sit back for 75 minutes with this manager. Yeah, we're only allowed to swear during the during the gaming streams. Weatherty Lucky is a Nigerian teenager who so far has made one sub appearance in a 3-0 cup loss. I was getting him mixed up with Nalo. I think Nalo is the guy who, whenever he comes on, scores an own goal. Are Middlesbrough playing today? He surely lost the dressing room by now. I think he lost the dressing room a while ago. My whole kind of theory on that I was saying earlier is Klopp was a certain type of manager, kind of more of a what's the word? More of a kind of accommodating manager who would kind of treat his players like as equals, and he'd be more of a father figure. That's the word I'm kind of looking for. Whereas Slot is like completely the opposite. He's not a father figure. He's more of a stepfather who wishes you were not around type of figure. And I just think when you have it a one way, and then you get somebody else who's the polar opposite, eventually you'll fall out with them. So I'm not hugely surprised. I don't watch Liverpool much, lucky you, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I'm here mostly out of obligation, I can't lie. If I didn't have a channel, I would probably have this game on in the background whilst doing other things in my house. But Frimpong doesn't look good enough for Liverpool. I could be missing his talent when I miss certain Liverpool games. I'll be honest, he's been shit. He's been crap. I don't think he's a bad player, but he has been pretty poor. He's a right back who sometimes plays right wing, right? The thing is, when he's attacking, he looks like a defender, and when he's defending, he looks like an attacker. So I'm like, which one of the two is it actually meant to be? For Netherlands, he looks fine, but of course, the kind of the level of opposition you play in the national teams is not Premier League level of opposition. They basically bought him, number one, because he's cheap, and number two, because he's versatile. But versatile doesn't automatically mean you put a 10 out of 10 in both positions. Versatile means instead of being an 8 out of 10 in one position, you're a 5 out of 10 in two positions. But I am probably being a bit too harsh. Grace is playing Rocket League. Oh god, I had to read that a few times. The Dutch Victor Moses. Like, I'll be honest, he's been garbage. Frimpong's been garbage. Kirkes has been okay. Wirtz has been garbage. Ekatike has been good. Isak, I'm going to say no comment because he hasn't really played. And I think Mamardashvili has been decent. But I'm not going to form definitive opinions until I hopefully see them with a new manager, because I think the majority of the problems come down to tactics. Miro says, yo, what's good? Not Liverpool, but I hope you are good. How are you? Yeah, not bad, not bad. Went to Sweden last week. Got back on Monday. Got back from Sweden Monday at 2:30, and then I had work on the same day. So that was a bit strange, but all good other than that. How about you? Not defending him, but 90% of our players have been awful. They have. It's the $1 million question, though, isn't it? Are the players awful because they are awful, or are the players awful because the manager is awful? Take an example. Man United with Amorim versus Man United with Carrick. Same players, but suddenly they've got into the Champions League places. Whereas with Amorim, pretty much the same players were bottom off. The season's been a disappointment all year. Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle, City, Spurs have all been dull to watch. It has been a boring ass season. Like I partly thought, is it just me? Because Liverpool won the league last year, therefore I find it amazing. Like, am I just being like I don't know if spoiled is the word, but am I just not enjoying it because Liverpool are not winning? Like, is that the reason? But I don't feel like that is the reason. Like, even with Klopp, Liverpool won basically 2 major trophies. Premier League and Champions League. I don't care about FA Cup. But even then, it was so exciting to watch. Every week you'd look forward to it. This, I'm here more out of obligation rather than kind of wanting to. Who scored the goals? I had to remember. Gravenberch scored for Liverpool. It was a nice shot from outside the box type of thing. I think it was Enzo who was given the goal for Chelsea. Gravenberch was good, but again, same thing happens. As I was saying, after kind of Gravenberch scored, I said Liverpool have a tendency to do this. Start off well, start off aggressive. Maybe they get a goal, maybe they don't. But then the other team, they always let the other team back into it. Frimpong thrives off the ball, runs, creating right side overloads with runs deeper as a right wing back. We need a right wing right attacking midfielder to hold the ball on the inside to allow him to overlap. That is something that could work. That is something that could work. I think ultimately the main thing that's kind of bottlenecking my mind and bottlenecking my excitement and kind of limiting my excitement is you need a manager change. Once you make these manager change, then I can kind of start getting a bit more excited. But I think that's a good suggestion. They've almost just kind of just slotted him in, excuse the pun, without really accommodating him in the right way. Crazy FC guy says, yo, remember me? Are you the guy from Norway? Potentially. I remember the name, yeah. You have a Twitch account and you also have a YouTube account. And you had Alexander Isak was your picture. And Alexander Isak sitting on the seat is your YouTube picture. Is that correct? I think I remember. There you go. So you know I'm not lying when I say I remember. But yeah, how's it going? Hope you're good. Slot has ruined our club. No passion, no drive, no aggression, no excitement, no enthusiasm, no hunger, no nothing. I think it's fine to say, look, he was here for 2 years. We are very grateful for the year he won the league. Eternally grateful. But now it's time to move on. I think with Klopp, we had hunger and fought for a win regardless if we were winning or losing. Klopp was just a much better motivator. He could get you kind of motivated, and I don't think to be a good motivator, I think you have to be a good speaker and you have to be a good manager. Whereas Slot is not a very good speaker. He's very blunt, and sometimes he says things and they come out really badly. And the thing is, I know that he doesn't actually mean that. Like when he was talking about Salah, yesterday, and he said he was talking about Salah, and he said you have to be good all the time. You can't only be good in the gym. And like, I know he doesn't mean that as a diss, but when you phrase it that way, people are going to take that the wrong way. So I think, and maybe that's why he's a quote unquote head coach, because he's not a manager, he's a head coach. But I think that's been his weakness for sure. Gakpo is unseen. Lucky us, we don't have to see him. What's happened to McAllister? I mean, he just hasn't really been with it all season, to be honest. I reckon he's probably off at the end of the year. As much as Wirtz doesn't shoot a lot, he will always drop deep to receive the ball. He does. Like, what? Oh, they're showing a game in the adverts. What game is this? Oh, sorry, they were just showing a game. I thought that looks really good. Wirtz has been okay, but I think he can also do a lot better. Grace, not Grace. See, I thought you were Grace, and then I saw the Etihad bit, and I was like, hold on, it's because Grace had that username before. But this is Stefan saying, I'm watching my neighbours get in their car to go to the Etihad to see City at 5:30. Did they really exist? No, I think you're definitely imagining that. Slot is not a manager, I agree. Need to bring on Gomez from McAllister and bring Jones on in the midfield. It's an option. Gomez has a deceptively good cross on him. He's put kind of a few good passes on here and there. It's an option for the second half. Liverpool are looking shaky on the right side. Pretty much shaky all over. Shaky at the back as well. No one in that midfield knows how to play a through ball. I mean, yeah, they just don't know how to kind of pass forward. It's this whole obsession and kind of fetish with waiting for the perfect opportunity. You know how kind of Slot's mantra was, we're going to take less risks now, but we're going to wait longer for the perfect opportunity. The way that has manifested itself is in what you see on the screen. Liverpool don't pass the ball forward. They pass it left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Wait forever for the perfect opportunity. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Play it back. Sometimes it's like, guys, you're waiting for the 100% clear-cut opportunity, but that doesn't always arrive. You don't always have the 100% clear-cut opportunity. Sometimes you got to take the 70%. I just wish they'd kick the ball forward a bit more. Bandra says, yo, your room is sick. Appreciate that. I don't know if I've gone too far with the kind of bits and bobs, but because I got that light over there and there's a Power Rangers poster and there's that stuff. But I'm thinking of adding some more stuff to this, but I'll get around to it. Need to sell McAllister. There's no identity. Wirtz is apparently sick. I hope it's not a case of, where sometimes they say a player is sick and then you see the player on crutches. I hope it's not a case of that. Frimpong is useless. I agree. Like, the thing that irritates me about Frimpong, this is going to sound so harsh, he does nothing going forward. He does very little defensively. And whenever he gets fouled, it's always the most painful foul ever. Like, he always goes down screaming. Every single time he gets tackled, he's like, ah! I'm like, really? Every single time? Are you in that much pain? I just hate that. Like, sometimes, fair enough, it hurts. But any time he goes down, that guy's screaming. And it's a bit too Bruno Fernandes-like for my liking. I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. Sometimes it's going to hurt you and that's fine. But it can't hurt you that much every single time. And it's just one of those things that irritates me to my core. Players faking it. And I'll say, even if it's a Liverpool player, it's Frimpong, I don't believe that guy is as hurt every single time when he goes down. Wirtz needs more confidence. I mean, maybe a new manager can inspire that. Only Sabazlai pressing. I agree 100%. Yeah, same shit, different day. Club is losing its standards. I agree. I think if they continue it, I think they probably will get Champions League this year, and they're probably lucky to get it. But I think if they keep him for one more year, then I doubt they'd get it next year. We don't press as a team. We don't do anything as a team other than F up. We're so impotent. It's really worrying. No impetus, no tenacity. Absolutely awful again. Agree with that 100%. No enthusiasm, no aggression. I said something 6 months ago. I said this team plays like they just ate a full roast dinner before they went on the pitch. That's how they play. And the other thing that irritates me is part of the reason to bring in Slot and part of the reason to bring in a manager who's less aggressive was to reduce the number of injuries. So the thinking was, okay, if we stop doing triple sessions where we're running 50 miles a day, that should hopefully translate into less injuries. And hopefully the expensive players you have are available more because they're quote unquote working less. But that hasn't worked out either. It was all a bit silly. We lost our identity. We don't have a plan. I agree. Curtis Jones has been stinky on most days. The author of Les Miserables wasn't Victor Hugo. It's Arne Slot. I mean, Arne Slot will be Valjean. Is it Valjean? Yeah, Valjean's the I was going to say the beggar, but I need a better word, but you get what I mean. Slot has not instilled any automations, instead relying on individual brilliance. That's I agree. I agree. Anytime anything kind of good happens, it's because of individual brilliance of a particular player. As in, a player will do something out of nowhere. Like that Gravenberch goal, for example. I don't think that came down to tactics. I just think that came down to Gravenberch taking that chance. And again, this is why I think he has to go. Like, I'm not going to hate on the guy. I actually quite like him as a person. I find his bluntness quite funny, to be honest with you. I find him quite funny. But I still think you have to move on. I just don't think he's the right guy for next season. He was the right guy for last season, but I don't think he's the right guy for next season. Why do we sit back? Bad tactics. Please put Frimpong at right back. Jones isn't doing the job. Jones is not covering the right side properly. I'd rather see Frimpong at right back because then you have a more attacking team. Frimpong to me is more of a defender than an attacker. So I'd rather see him at right back, especially at home and especially against Chelsea, who are not very good at the moment. Whenever Frimpong starts as a winger, I just think that's too pragmatic. Don't you think the endless slow passing game is everybody trying to be Barcelona, City, Pep Guardiola? To a certain extent. I think there is an aspect of that. But I'd argue Liverpool already had a winning formula. They already had a league winning formula. So then to change that is a bit of a risk. You have something that works. It's that saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It wasn't broke, but we tried to fix it. And this is kind of what we get, unfortunately. Frodo Baggins says, not 56 minutes played, by the way. It's half time. It's 56 minutes in Mordor. I feel like I'm watching a live stream of Mordor whenever I have to watch Liverpool play football. In football, an automatism, not an autism, is that could also be applicable, is a pre-rehearsed repetitive pattern of play or movement that players execute almost instinctively during a match, often without needing conscious thought. I see what you mean. I thought that was a typo earlier, but I see what you mean. Now, during half time, they're just showing replays of the United game, so I kind of don't want to look at that. I mean, it was a good Szoboszlai goal, but let me set the time. I've set the timer back to 45, so it doesn't confuse anybody. Get Gomez off. Get Gomez instead of Jones. You just do a straight swap. We're so lucky that Champions League is an option. Most teams are poor and a fifth position. If Liverpool get Champions League this year, it's purely out of luck. I can't lie. It's because that kind of block of teams from like about fourth down to about seventh or eighth are just so close. It's kind of it'd be luck 100%. Frimpong poor, I agree. Frimpong made of glass. I was saying earlier, Frimpong irritates me because whenever he goes down, it's always the most painful tackle. Whenever he goes down, immediately after, he's always like, ah! I'm like, bro, really? Every single time? Are you going to scream when you get tackled? I understand sometimes it hurts and sometimes you're going to scream. But anytime he goes down, he's crying, he's screaming, and it just irks me. It just irks me to my core. There's nothing to like about how this team plays football. Manager has got to go. I agree. And it's not even professional rage bait. It's just facts. Gakpo is doing nothing, and Slot's tactics are too blunt. I mean, that would kind of summarize the season, to be honest. That would basically sum up the season. Gakpo's been garbage. All year, to be honest with you. Liverpool, get rid of that. We got rid of it with more. What do you mean by that? As in the aggression and the kind of pressing. We look like a tired old team who think the season is already over. The thing is, this team has kind of been playing like the season's been over, even before it was over. Even when there were things up for grabs, which kind of is the most disappointing thing. Even when they had things to play for, they were playing like there was nothing to play for. But I think it all comes back to the manager. I think you make a managerial change, suddenly all areas improve instantly. I just think this manager has just pissed off all the players, and I just think they're just not. Once you kind of piss people off, they're just not going to listen to you anymore. We've got to be bottom 5 teams in the league this at the moment. I mean, possibly bottom 3. Get Frimpong off that wing, for God's sake. I mean, he's getting on my nerves. He attacks like a defender and he defends like an attacker. And as kind of Zach says, are you referring to Frimpong that I was talking about earlier? Because it just gets on my nerves so much. Like, I know sometimes when you get tackled, it hurts and that's fine. But anytime he goes on the floor, he's overdoing it. He's screaming. And then 2 seconds later, he's fine. That I don't like. Needs to stop doing that right now. This is shocking, and we only have 1 game a week. I mean, the positive is there's only 2 games left of the season, and then we get our lives back. I'm looking at it from a glass half full perspective. I think it's time for Morris. Yeah. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind Morrison. I wouldn't mind James McConnell. I wouldn't mind Trey Neone. Something a bit different. I think it's a good idea. Jack says we scored, sat back, waiting for them to press. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, isn't it? That we've seen all year. We score, and then we sit back and invite pressure, and then we concede. I don't like the fact that this team now does not go for the second goal, third goal, fourth goal like it used to. Just find it annoying. Kanate needs gone. I don't think he signed a new contract yet. We need Chiesa playing. It's an option. I'd play Chiesa instead of Frimpong, surely. Lots of players do the screaming falling over after any slight tap on the face and ankle. We used to book players for simulation a few years ago, but refs have stopped booking the players for the exaggerating falling over. I think they should book players. I'm in favour of that. If the referee thinks it's a dive, if the referee thinks it's simulation, book them. Yes, the referee will get it wrong sometimes, but I think the net positive in terms of stripping diving out and stripping all this complaining out would be a positive. I'd be in favour of that, even if it's a Liverpool player. when Frimpong does his little routine, book the guy. Because I'm like, mate, get up. Second half's kicked off. Hope you're good, Finn. Ajax missed the first half, scored a goal, and then did the absolutely F-all, to be honest with you. So I'm jealous that you missed the first half, because you did not waste 45 minutes of your Saturday like I did. Because clearly you are smart and I am not. But yeah, it was not good. To be honest with you. Yeah, exaggerates. It's like every time the guy goes down, it's watch when he goes down. He'll do it again. Zaim says, if FSG stick with Slot, what would you think? I would be gobsmacked. I would be so shocked if they stick with Slot. I don't think they're going to stick with him, simply because he's got 12 months left on his deal and they have not given him a new deal. So if they were to stick with him, I would be... Frimpong's down. I would be extremely shocked. I think they're gonna move on, to be honest. I wouldn't mind Isak. That's the one thing that got me excited for this game, the fact that Isak was on the bench. We're lacking energy. Most of the players are just strolling around, don't look interested. I always say this team plays like they just ate a full roast dinner before they went out on the pitch. They're just a bit lethargic. They're just a bit sleepy. They've had too many carbs. And it's not going to change until you bring in a new manager, unfortunately. I'd love to see Isak, 100%. Yeah, I agree. It's almost been baked into the game that if you go down in a certain way, you'll get a foul. And I just don't like it. I'd rather the referee just book the guy, even if it's my own team. I'm like, just book him. You can't be having that. It's Jack's birthday. Happy birthday. Sub on Chiesa for Jones and shove Frimpong right back. Makes me annoyed. George is saying 2-1. So I've got a goal to look forward to in about 10 seconds. I can't see nothing. But I think I'm a bit delayed. Why the fuck am I so bit behind? I'm gonna try and refresh. Oh right, it's offside. Is it offside? Axel is saying it's offside. Who are they saying was offside? Was it Cucurella? Yeah, offside. Who was it that was offside? Was it Cucurella? Or was it Palmer himself? Kid says we will win. I like the positivity. You're more positive than I am. Or was it João Pedro who was offside? This is why Frimpong shouldn't play right back. I mean, we're almost at the point of saying Frimpong should not play right back. He should not play right wing. If there is a position open in the cafeteria as a chef, Frimpong should also not do that. If the toilets are dirty and they need cleaning, Frimpong should also not do that. That is Trent level defending from Frimpong. I can't lie. Imagine they lose. I just realized this is at Anfield. Imagine they lose this game. I'm glad there's like 2 more games after this. This team makes my blood boil, says Abdullah. When I think about it hard, it does make my blood boil. I've taken the Jurgen Klopp approach. You know when like Liverpool used to be like 5-0 down, and Klopp used to just start laughing on the touchline. That's just me at this point. You can only laugh. Gakpo out, Isak in. Isak on the bench is the main reason I'm here. Abdullah says, but there will be a part 2 to this next season. Let's be honest. If they keep the manager, they will. Which is why I can't really get excited. Which is why I can't really get excited about any new players. I think you need to make the manager change first, and then we can get excited with new players. Streaming the FA Cup final next Saturday? I don't think so. I think the Chelsea game. The Liverpool Villa game is on Friday, so I'll probably do that one. Was Palmer offside? Yeah, the goal was given as offside, so it's still 1-1. Frimpong, not bad. That was all right. That was decent. Imagine if Frimpong is the Salah replacement. I mean, he won't be, but it would be kind of funny. replacing like your best player in the past decade with a right back. Axel says Jabi Alonso in, slot out. I hope so. That'd be my preference. I'm not reading too much into the kind of whole Real Madrid situation with Alonso, because I think players have too much power at that club. But I think Alonso would get the best out of Frimpong, who I've been hating on all day. Would also get the best out of Wirtz, because he used to manage them in the past. He's a Liverpool legend as a player, so I think that will definitely help him. So he'd be my first choice. And he's available. Adi asking the serious questions. Who's winning the final fight, Rudiger or Tchouaméni? I think Rudiger. Rudiger's a bit bigger. Rudiger's looks a bit... Yeah, I'd say Rudiger. Yeah, that was a good tackle, to be fair, by McAllister. Sum up the season in 7 words. 4 midfielders playing and still no control. Arne Slot should put that on his CV. That can be the first sentence, because that basically sums up what he's done this year. Slot out, Ringo Starr in. Is he still alive? Is Ringo Starr still alive? Joseph's had enough. Fish is going on about Roma. Isak in. Rio, what a player, I agree. Why is McAllister cooking? He probably heard what we were saying about him. I think McAllister probably joined this stream at half time and was kind of quite concerned what we were saying about him, and then he said, you know what, when I go out for the second half, I'm going to show that clown in a cap that I'm actually quite good. So that's my theory, but who knows? Nope, Rio did not foul Palmer there. Get up, Palmer. This Liverpool side is actually so bad right now. I mean, they're bad right now and have also been bad for a couple of months. Reece James is coming on for his 5-minute appearance before he's back in the hospital. Ringo Starr is still alive. Is it Paul McCartney's alive, isn't he? But John Lennon's dead. And I don't remember the other one. Siphoning Lightning says we're not going down. I'm not surprised. I never thought you would go down, to be fair. I always thought it'd be West Ham. I just think you've got too many. You've got too many kind of good players to go down. So I'm not surprised, to be honest. This style of football is not suited for Liverpool, says there is. I agree. It's not suited for Liverpool, and it's also not suited for me. And let's be honest, that's the most important thing. It's just boring, man. It's boring, too slow. And I'd understand if you want to play boring and slow because that means you get less injuries. I'd understand it from that perspective, but they seem to be getting even more injuries. So what's the point? Jones has a chance to counter-attack, but he cuts back and passes the ball backwards because that's all that clown does. Is Bradley Barcola good for Liverpool? He's alright, but the thing is, this is going to sound so big-headed, but if you're not good enough for PSG, then you're not good enough for this team. You should be targeting kind of the same level. If you were to take a PSG player, I'd rather have Desiree Doué or Kvaratskhelia, but let's be honest, that's not going to happen. Barcola's decent. He would improve this team, but it'd be expensive. It'd be on high wages. So I don't know kind of how likely that is. Relegation battle, Richarlison. Oh, George Harrison. George Harrison is the last one. Yeah, is that the Jones header? Yeah. There's a spider in Grace's room called Cotton Eye Joe. Where did you? Yeah, I was literally just gonna say that. I was, the second half. Where did you come from? Where did you go? I was literally gonna say that, but I have no way of proving that. How did you guys spend 500 million and still be this awful? Well, partly because they sold some of the players that made them good last year. That's part of the reason. And I think another part of the reason is the manager just hasn't integrated the new players. Just doesn't know how to integrate them. And it's probably also a pretty bad manager in terms of how he talks to people. I mean, he always kind of says borderline inappropriate things in public on press conferences. So that just makes me think when he's not in public, when he's in private, he's probably saying even worse shit to the players. Gravenberch. Frimpong with a cross, but yeah, nothing happens. Do you wish Liverpool had gotten De Zerbi instead of Spurs? Not really, to be honest with you. I mean, De Zerbi's a good manager, but my preference would be Alonso 100%. PSG are miles ahead of Liverpool. Barcola would be your best player. PSG are miles ahead of everybody, though. That's the thing. They're miles ahead of absolutely everybody. Who are they not miles ahead of? Gakpo is Darwin Núñez levels of frustrating. He's even. I'd even say he's even. I'd say he's even more frustrating than that. Because maybe. Yeah, no, maybe you're right. Because I was about to say at least Núñez ran a lot. I know that is the bar now. And I know, a player runs around a lot. But at least kind of Núñez would always give 100%. Even if that 100% didn't equate too much, He would give you 100% of £1, which meant you gain £1. Gakpo is just not there. I don't even remember the guy touching the ball today. He's a waste of oxygen. Like if I was the tree that created the oxygen that Cody Gakpo breathed in, I would hope to get turned into a IKEA table because my life has been a waste. Just like Gakpo is a waste on the pitch. The top Premier League trading cards. I think I might need to wait for next season now. I don't know if they still sell the trading cards that you're asking me to get. Grace says that's a good joke what you said earlier. Oh, which one? You'll have to tell me because I'm just going off the cuff. We spent 130 million, and we are this awful. I mean, you could put some of it down to your manager. I guess you could put some of it down to your manager. I think De Zerbi's a better manager, so things should be better for you now. I think ultimately you will survive. I think next season will be better, but to be fair, next season can't be much worse. The Wenger boys, isn't that Wenger with a V instead of a W? Mickey van der Ven for Liverpool. If he's available for free, maybe. But if you think about it, so Van Dijk's definitely staying next year. Konate is probably going to stay. Not a given, but Konate is probably going to stay. And Liverpool also have Leone, and they have Jeremy Jacquet. So it surprised me if they were to get a fifth centre back, unless they get Alonso in and Alonso wants to play three at the back. In that case, they might get a fifth centre back. Frimpong with a cross to the ball actually bounced to Rio. Hope we lose, so Slot will get sacked. Slot will not get sacked. You could lose 10-0 today and they still wouldn't sack him. I think they'll get rid of him at the end of the season. Any other manager would play Chiesa. What has Chiesa done to not even start ahead of Frimpong? Because if you think about it, they're playing Frimpong right wing. They play absolutely everyone right wing apart from Chiesa. So I don't know what Chiesa could do. Also, I'm happy because when we stay up, Van der Ven is going to sign a new contract, so you Liverpool can't have him. If you stay up, though, apparently you are getting Robertson. That is the rumour. The rumour is Andy Robertson's going to Spurs if they stay up. Curtis Jones, Gakpo and Gravenberch should never play for Liverpool. I mean, Gravenberch has been okay, I think, today. But yeah, Gakpo I agree with. Curtis Jones is apparently off. There was an offer for Curtis Jones in January from Inter Milan, which might have happened but ended up not happening. But I think in the summer he might be off because he counts as pure profit because he's from the youth team, and Liverpool loves selling players to raise funds, but there aren't really many players you can sell now because a lot of them are new. Who's the Wenger boys? They were a band from the 90s. Konate, complete rubbish. He hasn't been great, but I'd rather keep him than lose him, just for the money, for the monetary aspect. Do you think Poole will win? I think it'll probably be a draw. Van der Ven want to sign a new contract if we stay up. So you'll have Van der Ven and Robertson. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Gallagher's better than Ethan McAllister. Zayn would not want Van der Ven. Seems to have concentration and his recovery pace saves him. Injury prone, true. I mean, the Isak thing is the main one for me. I mean, if you broke Isak's leg, that is going to make training a bit awkward. I don't think they'll get him. Because they've got Jeremy Jacquet, they've got Leone, they've got Konate, who probably will end up staying. Oh, Isak's coming on. Time to get excited. Did I tell you, I went to Isak's hometown last week. I went to Solna in Sweden, which is where Isak is from. Unfortunately, I did not see Isak in Solna last week. But there's always next time. Because I think he was actually in Liverpool. Who would you sell? Who would you bring in? There's not many players you can sell. I wouldn't sell any of the new players from last year. So I think you might have to sell Jones. McAllister is an option. Joe Gomez is an option. Gakpo is a good option. I'd sell Gakpo 100%. Yeah, the Isak leg break is the main one for me. We're gonna get Robbo and Bournemouth centre back called Senesi, as in that guy Senesi. He's alright, He's actually quite good. And Paulinho permanently. That's not bad. That's actually, that's decent to good, I'd say. Why is my autocorrect so bad recently? Are you on an iPhone? You might have to send a bug report to Apple. Isak is coming on, and Rio is coming off. Liverpool says hi. Isak, it's the event. Talk about awkward training sessions. Did you hear about Valverde? No. What's this about? I have not heard this. You'll have to tell me what this is about. Harry says hello. How are you? I'm not bad. I think I got allergies from the increased pollen count that we have. You're happy. Are you happy after the result last week, or are you happy for other reasons? That is the question. Do you want Richarlison? You guys might read him for the relegation battle if you keep Slot. I would rather get relegated than keep Richarlison. Richarlison's one of those players that I just detest because of the Everton history. Hope you get a bit better. Appreciate that. Oh my god, I weighed myself for the first time in months and I've put on a stone. I'm now 14 stone. I'm officially obese. Like, oh my god. 14 stone's not too bad. Not too bad. You weigh more than me though. I think I weigh 12 and a half. So you are heavier than me. Does the fact that my phone got soaked in the rain affect autocorrect? It shouldn't, no. Because that's a software feature. I mean, your phone might have... Just try cleaning the screen, maybe. There might be something stuck on the screen. Transfers is garbage, pretty much. Ooh, Harry's going out tomorrow with a girl to watch a film. Is this the girl from your band, or is this a different girl? Crazy choice, taking Rio off. Indeed it is. Our one effective player, our one player who's shown a bit of enthusiasm, is now off. So, whilst I'm happy Isak's on, what the hell was that from Sabazlai? God awful kind of free kick. Taking Rio off is annoying. I don't know. Maybe Rio had might have had maths homework to do. It is Saturday. I don't know. Maybe needed to make his lunch for school on Monday. Could have had things to do, possibly. Wow. when did this happen? Knocked him out. As in didn't just punch him, as in actually KO'd him. UFC style. So then people are hating Alonso because he failed at Real Madrid. But how is any manager supposed to succeed in an environment like that where players are knocking each other out in training? I'm going out with the Europa League trophy tomorrow night. Very nice. I'm 6'1", so it's not too bad. But definitely getting pokey. It happens. The good thing is it's getting warmer now, so you can go for more walks. That should certainly help. Someone from your school played against Rio. Nice. What did they say? Did they say like he was amazing at football and he was the best they've ever seen? A traumatic brain injury? What? So what? He knocked him out and did his head kind of hit the ground as he went back, kind of thing. Damn. What is going on at that club? That I did see. 3 million Real Madrid fans have signed a petition for Mbappe to leave, but I didn't click on it and read it. What's the reason they're giving? Is it their attitude? Is it his attitude, or what? What is the reason? Grace says, Steven is taller than you. He is taller than me, but he's also taller than you. I've played against Rio, start of 2025. Was he good? Were you defending? Were you right back, and was he left winger? Grace has switched over. Swear it was over 60 million. When I saw it, it was 30 million. What is the reason? Yes, they are Vinny. So what is this? Is this like Hollyoaks or some shit? Like what is like Vinny's side, Mbappe's side? He punched him. He said his mom was fat. Like what's going on in that in that team? This is insane. You were right back. Nice. Did you let Rio get past you, or did you keep him at bay? Keeping up with the Madristas. Yeah, proper Hollyoaks. There's all this like beef happening. He doesn't like him. He doesn't like him. They had a fight. What's gonna happen next? Is someone gonna sleep with Arbeloa? And then it's like, oh my god, somebody slept with the boss. That club is just a bit of a mess. Beat me every time. Completely lost the dressing room. That's why, like, I'm not too critical on Alonso. A lot of people don't want Alonso because he quote unquote failed at Madrid, but I just think that whole club is not in a state where a manager can succeed. So I'm willing to overlook that. Grace is 154 meters tall. I mean, that is pretty tall. Or do you mean 1.5 meters? What's that in like feet and inches? Because I don't do meters. I do imperial. Is that metric measurement? And the other one's imperial. Oh, so now they're lying as well. They're making things up. This is proper Hollyoaks, EastEnders type shit. I think that let's keep Mbappe at Madrid so they don't win the Champions League. PSG will destroy Arsenal. The thing is, the PSG game is going to be their first tough game in the Champions League knockout rounds. I think they've had a very easy route. They've had a surprisingly easy route. So I think this will be their first tough game. Who won? Does anyone know? As in the score today, it should be there. It should say it on the screen, but still 1-1. It's a Bosley free kick. Zabi, Alonso didn't do too bad there in hindsight. I agree. It's just a situation where a manager can't really thrive. And people were saying, we don't want him at Liverpool because of what happened at Madrid. But I'm like, at Madrid, players have all the power. And I read a rumor that Alonso was being a bit too analytical and wanted to train a lot, but Mbappe and Vinny didn't like that, and then they kind of forced him out. So if you have a situation where the players can usurp the manager, how can you expect the manager to succeed? Grace is 5'2". I mean, you're taller than Frimpong. I should probably stop hating on Frimpong. Stefan is taller than me, fatter than me, older than me, and whatever the last one is. Yeah, I think maybe she meant a 1.54. So just over 5'4". Nigel says, who do you support? I support whoever Nigel supports. That's my new mantra for life. PSG's route was not easy. They had to play Spurs. Fair point. Forgot about that. The mighty Spurs. Nigel supports Chelsea. Okay, maybe don't look at this shirt then. 6 of the players don't want to speak with Arbeloa, but it's the same thing. 6 of the players don't want to speak with Arbeloa. 6 of the players didn't speak with Alonso. Then they get a new manager in, and it's fine for a bit, but then 6 of the players don't want to speak with a new manager. The problem is the players, and the problem is the amount of power that they give to the players. What shirt you wearing? It's like a Liverpool training top type of thing. I'm 1. Is that 1 million? That's not 1 million. 1,500,000,000 feet tall. So you're basically like Peter Crouch then. Peter Crouch is actually sitting in the stands today. They showed him earlier. Ooh, they just dribble past McAllister. Ooh, João Pedro. See, that's the problem here. João Pedro's dribbling, and he's dribbling very well. But Liverpool just make very little effort to actually tackle the guy. I mean, João Pedro is in my fantasy team, so there's a positive from that. I mean, that's literal perfection right there. Gakpo, what a waste of time. I can't even say that's 100% true. That's like 1,000% true. Just complete waste of time, complete waste of oxygen, just complete waste of salary. And whoever cut Gakpo's hair, that was also a waste of electricity if you had to plug the cutters in. Joe Gomez is coming on for Gakpo, which is interesting. I presume Gomez is going to go right back. Do you think there's another goal in this? I got a bad feeling there's another Chelsea goal in this. Least amount of touches on the pitch. I don't remember him touching the ball once, to be honest with you. So Gakpo bring Nunes back. I mean, Nunes would be more effective. It's not a bad idea. He's mint ice cream. I was only mint ice cream when I had the green cap. So today I've got the black cap. Spurs going to be the next big thing next season, and the De Zerbi will win the domestic treble. I mean, it's not impossible. I'll stay democratic. Isak to Frimpong, good pass. Frimpong's going to F it up, and he does. Like, I should be a mind reader. Frimpong gets out wide, which at least is something, but then we'll pass it out wide to Frimpong, and then Frimpong will put a cross in, and it will be the most garbage dog turd cross you have ever seen in your life. How aren't Liverpool winning right now? Because we are garbage. Would you rather Kolo Muani? I'd rather you over Gakpo. I'd rather Siphoning Lightning over Gakpo. How tall are you? Aren't you like 5'10"? Yep. 5'10" with no shoes on, because I know that. Because when I went to the nurse a few years ago, I had to get measured. And then they don't even tell you. And I said, can I just find out what my height actually is? And then she was like, oh yeah, it's 5'10". I was like, all right, good to know. Why do we keep playing the same system week in, week out when it doesn't work? It's plain to see. I think the players are just giving up. And to be honest, I think the manager's also kind of given up. Ooh, that's a good header. Who was that? Van Dijk. That was a good header. I think the manager knows that he's gone at the end of the season. And of course, they don't say that publicly. Publicly, they always say, yes, we're planning for next season and we're planning the transfers for next season. But I think the manager also knows he ain't going to have a job soon. Isak got to get on today. I'd like that. Kaiser to score. I'd also like that. Definitely do not want Kolo Muani. I'd take anybody over Gakpo. I'd take current Robbie Fowler over Gakpo. Frimpong kicks the ball like it's a beach ball. I mean, you're right, to be fair. The way it kind of arches, the way his cross is going to arch up and then come back down. I mean, that's a good description. Is it bad that I got a red card in my football match last week and I'm playing tomorrow? So are they like not enforcing the rules of the red card? Is that what's happening? Have they just said, yeah, we know you've been sent off, but we'll let it slide? It's all good. It's all good with me. Get Diaz back. I don't think he's going to want to come back. You would love Prime Harry Kewell. I remember watching Prime Harry Kewell at Leeds. He was amazing. And then he came to Liverpool, and I was so excited when he came to Liverpool. But then at Liverpool, he just kind of had too many injuries and it didn't quite work out for him. Grace says, is 5'10" short or tall? I think it's about average in UK. But the funny thing is, in other countries, I do feel like super tall. Like in Spain, I felt really tall. And in Japan, I felt really, really tall. So, when you're in a hotel room and they have like a peephole. They have a peephole on the door, so you can see like through the door. That peephole was like where my like chest is. Like it was really low down. So in Japan, I definitely felt tall. I think average height in Japan is like 5'6". But I think 5'10" for England. I think that's about average. I do think the plan was 3-5-2 with Leone, Frimpong, and Kerkez as wing backs, but we never got to see. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. The thing is, that would be an even bigger change from the last season. Then the criticism would be, okay, you won the league and then you completely changed the formation. Are you doing the gaming stream? I'm gonna go with no. Yeah, unlikely today. Possibly tomorrow. I apologize to the ref because my red card was for dissent. What do you mean for dissent? So were you like telling the ref to F off? Like what? Go into can you expand a bit about what the dissent was like actually about? Like how, what were you doing? Were you like swearing at the referee's mom or something? But he said don't worry about it, so that's a positive. He's 187 centimeters tall. I think by UK standards, I think so. You want to see Fatty? Well, yeah, that will be on the gaming stream. Would you like Pedro Porro? I mean, I'd never say no for free. But if there is a transfer fee, then that's a bit more complicated. I told the ref to F off. That makes makes sense. Makes sense why he sent you off. Kukure has been booked. Pedro Porro I would take, just not Kolo Muani. So draws the line at Kolo Muani, but Pedro Porro I would take. Closest right back in style to 66, but not sure if we are changing systems. That's the thing I kind of keep going back to. I almost need to see who the manager is. Is it Alonso? Is it somebody else? You know, it could be some rando. It was a rando last time. It could be a rando again. Oh, I almost feel like that question needs to be answered first. Aman says slot out. I think he'll be gone end of the season. Hasn't signed a new contract. Or should I say, I don't think Liverpool have even offered him a new contract. So yeah, I think he'll be gone. You want 66? Absolutely not. Is that Luke Littler? Oh yeah, you said Jack Clayton has lost or something. You know what? I actually wouldn't mind that. It'd be hilarious, number one. And number two, it'd be so exciting to watch. Like every game would be 7-6, 4-3. I actually would not mind that at all. Just for a bit of excitement. Like just for a bit of excitement. Like we probably won't win anything. But you have a hell of a ride. Zaim says, hell no. Reports say during Madrid drama, 66 was crying in the corner. That's probably not fake. I can literally imagine that happening. Oh my God, Gomez almost scored his first goal. Gomez is like 2 centimeters away from scoring his first goal. But I can imagine that happening. What happened with the whole Bellingham thing? Were him and Bellingham not supposed to be best friends? Like, are they now best friends? Or does Bellingham now like not want to hang out with him anymore because he's shit? Like, what's the deal now? Because that friendship was like proper hyped up before he went. But then after he went, I'm not seeing anything about the friendship. So has Bellingham kind of disowned him? Liverpool are 5th Fourth, 59 points. But Villa are only a point behind. Long balls up to Chiesa, because that's exactly what we want. And supports Liverpool, by the way. You've convinced me, mate. You've convinced me, mate. High line, mate. Get him in, mate. It'd just be hilarious. It would be fun. I can't lie. It would be fun. You would be excited. You would be excited for the games again, and that's something we haven't had for a while. I mean, he probably wouldn't be a long-term appointment, but it'd be a fun ride. Grace says, "Why no gaming?" Yeah, as in tomorrow. Probably not today, but tomorrow. Yeah, I reckon he's gone. I reckon he's gone. 2 more games, and then they'll sack him end of the season. I mean, hopefully Ange's first thing he does is get rid of Gakpo. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, how much could you even sell Gakpo for these days? That's the other thing. Could you get like more than 40 million? Or is that being silly? What I don't like is there's about 5 minutes to go and it's still Chelsea attacking. This you should not have. This you should not have. Ange Gakpo 66 on Frimpong. Now, if 66 made his bed, he can now lie in it. 200 million Zimbabwean dollars for Gakpo. Frimpong goes down. 200 million wouldn't be enough for the petroleum. Chiesa loses the ball. See, this is what I don't like. There's 5 minutes left and it's Chelsea going for the win. It's literally Chelsea going for the win. Is Van Dijk effing and blinding at the ref? But to be fair, the ref is effing and blinding back. So there is that. Oh, there's a VAR check, which is fantastic. Which is just what we want. I don't think that was a penalty. Oh, that's good to see. You're my entertainment for an hour or so, though. As in what? As in, do you mean for the gaming stream? Do they have to include to pay for players' fuel in their contract now? I mean, they should pay a bonus based on how much players have to run. In which case, you'd give Gakpo a bonus of £0. I mean, Gakpo would have to pay Liverpool back. Pen to who? Chelsea, but it was a VAR check, but it wasn't a penalty. They've waved it off. Yeah, that'll be tomorrow. Like, I can feel like allergies today, which could be because of the kind of pollen and shit. But tomorrow should be fine. Or it could be because my neighbor's cutting plants. I don't know if you can hear it. He's got like a lawnmower on. That could be why. Spurs have like a 60% chance of beating Leeds. I reckon you'd beat them. Jones. What I really hate is whenever this team gets into a crossing position, there's no level of intellect behind their cross. It's just we're just gonna whack it and hope into a random spot and hope somebody's there. But there's very rarely anybody there. You think Liverpool could get a lucky corner and Virgil heads it into the back of the net? 90 plus 1 minute, I think so. I mean, it's happened before. It's happened quite recently, so it would not surprise me if that happened again. Wouldn't deserve it, to be honest. I think if this stays a draw, that's probably fair. But if it would happen, it would be kind of cool. Ryan says Liverpool are poo. Indeed, they are. I mean, it's in the name after all. You are what you eat, or that doesn't quite make sense. 3 wins in a row. You're not a very easy person to convince. Yeah, I'm impossible. I'm impossible to convince. Adam says trust it's gonna happen. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm liking the positivity. If we win 5 out of our 5 last games, our great escape is better than West Ham's. The thing is, even when people were saying Spurs are gonna go down, I was thinking, yeah, they've got too many match winners and too many good players to go down. I think provided you finish 17th at least, then that's good enough, I think. Liverpool will win. Mamardashvili last minute winner. I mean, is Mamardashvili gonna kick it into the goal from a goal kick, or is he gonna go up for a corner? I mean, it's Liverpool in their own half again. Again, it's the same thing again. It's the same thing with Frimpong again. He'll just kick the ball forward. And there's nobody there. How many minutes extra time? 7 minutes. And we're just about approaching 93. My timer's a bit behind from what it actually is. But 93 minutes now. Liverpool play style is boring. I agree with that. It's been boring all year. Isak. That's a good cross. That's a good cross by Isak. But Szoboszlai just not in the right spot. Sully says, such a useless team, man. I can't be asked to watch them anymore. I don't blame you. Part of the reason I'm here is because it was an early kickoff. So I thought, I can just watch it and then be done with it and then just get on with my weekend. But if it was a Sunday evening, then I probably wouldn't be here. Gakpo could walk to Bolton, or if he cannot walk to Bolton, I will drive him to Bolton. Kimberly says BBC Sports says +5. It's +7 on my on the screen, should I say? So we're just approaching 94 minutes. Mamardashvili will pull an Alisson from a corner. I'd be surprised if they were to send Alisson up. Sorry, send Mamardashvili up. Okay, for Adam it says +6. For Kimberly it says +5. For me it says +7. I mean, what's going on? Why could nobody make their mind? I'm actually like on the game it says +7 at the top of the screen. We'll find out soon if that's correct or not. Alonso in, please, says Ray. That would be my preference also. Isak makes a huge difference up front. Give him the ball as much as possible. I agree 1,000%. This is why he was the one I was most excited about. And it was irritating me so much when Ekitike was doing well and people were saying, but you got Ekitike, you didn't need to sign Isak as well. I'm like, we did need to sign Isak. Because one player went to Saudi in Nunes. One is no longer here in Jota. And one went to Germany in Luis Diaz. So you absolutely need to sign both Ekitike and Isak. It's plus 10 on Rays. And it's plus 8. I think you might be messing at this point. Yeah, Alisson being injured is a bit of a blocker to him going up front. But I don't think they'll send Mamardashvili up. Good save there, and now he releases the ball. He releases the ball quickly, but he releases it badly. What do you think of Mbappe to Liverpool? I mean, there's no chance that's gonna happen. Even though Real Madrid want him out, like it's not gonna happen. Yeah, full time. 1-1, pretty much what I expected. I wish I hadn't expected that, but play at home against a team who does not have a manager, against a team who's getting pummeled by absolutely everybody, and what you do, you draw. Slot is done. I think he's been done for a while. I think they've just been waiting until the season's up to basically pull the trigger. Untenable for Slot. Yeah, again, I'd say it's kind of been untenable for a while. I mean, my whole thing is, and kind of what I've been kind of clinging to, is that they were going to sack him at the end of the season. So we don't have long to wait now to find out. Grace says, have a good day. Bye. You too. And the good thing is, it's only 2:30. So there's a full day that awaits. Hear me out. If they just sell Isak, get money from him and buy Mbappe, yeah, that's not there's no chance that would happen. There's no chance they sell Isak, and there's no chance they get Mbappe. And to be honest, they probably need more of a kind of winger type of player. Somebody who can play kind of out wide. A winger, a midfielder. And if Robertson is going, so potentially a left back if Tsimikas don't come back. But anyway, that game was rubbish, as Liverpool have been rubbish all day. But that's life. Yeah, I was gonna say that. For me, the 4-1 was it the 4-1 at home. That's the point where I was like, why not bring in Xabi Alonso as early as possible? It could be a thing. It could be a thing where he said, I want to come in with a fresh start. I want to have a break from Madrid because I've taken a bit of a battering. I just want to rest for a few months and then I want to come in with a fresh start. I presume that's what has happened. I presume / hope they would have kind of said to, or is that, they would have said to Alonso, when do you want to come in? And Alonso probably would have said at the start of the season, have a full pre-season, buy my own players. Because the trouble is, I guess, if Alonso comes in part way through the season, then he's almost kind of tarnished with kind of what happened this season. I think it's reported that Tsimikas will be second. Fair enough. I mean, it's not the best option, but it's probably not the worst option either. And there's probably other priorities that are more important. Isak, what a baller. I agree. I remember when Liverpool sacked Gerard Houllier after he got them Champions League football. Is that because Benitez was available? Because Benitez won the league with Valencia, I think, and then he was available. Don't care how late with Xabi, as long as we have the pre-season with him, the fitness level is horrid. You're 100% correct. Players just don't look fit. They just don't run as much, don't press as much, which in itself is not a problem, but they're running less, they're pressing less, but they're still getting injuries and still getting muscle injuries. So I'm like, hold on, but You're not as aggressive in your play now, but you're still getting injured. What's the reason for that? It's very strange. Yeah, to be honest, I think they will get rid. To be honest, I think they will get rid. End of the season. Thankfully, there's only 2 more games. Villa and then 1 more, I think. Seems unpleasant. Chelsea might not qualify to any European competition. It's crazy, but I guess that's the risk that you take. When you hire manager, sack manager, hire manager, sack manager, they often say too many changes causes instability. And I think not qualifying for Europe is a kind of an impact of that instability. Thoughts on the performance today? Crap, boring. Nothing much to say. I mean, it's a nice goal by Gravenberch, but I don't remember Gakpo touching the ball. Frimpong, ineffective. Rio looked okay. Actually, Rio looked good because you have to remember he is still doing his GCSEs. But Rio looked good. But not really much to be excited about. Scamp says slot out. Liverpool should give the clueless slot another 10-year contract. That would insinuate they have already given him a 10-year contract. Gakpo just doing the bleep test. I mean, he failed the bleep test at kind of round 1. Because I think even the bleep test, you have to kind of get to the wall in a certain amount of time. I don't remember that guy doing anything. So he's a waste of oxygen. But I've been saying that all year. But anyway, I am now going to go where I will hopefully forget about this game entirely and then debate, can I be bothered with Friday or not? But I'll probably still turn up. Frimpong is so wank, I agree. He attacks like a defender and he defends like an attacker. So you kind of get the worst of both worlds there. What was the reason for subbing out Rio? It's probably the whole, hey, he's 17. They want to protect his legs. They don't want to overburden the guys. It's probably that again. But whatever. 2 games left and then we get our lives back for a couple of months. Why is Gakpo so bad? We have to ask Gakpo's parents that one. Slot out, simple as that. I agree. 10 touches. You know, the funny thing is, I don't even remember the 10. I remember 1. I remember 1 touch. I don't remember the other 9. It was almost as if he wasn't even on the pitch. Can't even beat Chelsea is embarrassing. I agree, especially. I mean, Chelsea don't even have a manager. There's some random like ginger guy on the touchline who's their manager. I'm like, who the hell's that? And we can't even beat that team. Rio carried you. Indeed, he did. For some reason, I really wanted us to lose. Probably because you're just disillusioned with the season. What's Lot's obsession with Gakpo? That's his son, after all. Ian says Slot is utter crap. Slot needs to go. 2 of them are offside. We need to beat one of the two teams to secure Champions League. I mean, the fact that we're leaving it this late as well is wild. I mean, next is going to be Villa. Villa are better than Chelsea. We'd be lucky to get a draw against Villa. So embarrassing, I agree. Possibly Nathan says, as a United fan, I enjoy watching Rio. So excited to see what he turns out to be in the future. It is, I know what you mean. I know where you're kind of coming from. From an unbiased perspective, you could say, look, he looks kind of lively. He looks exciting. He's forward thinking. He's aggressive. The way the ball kind of sticks to his feet is something you don't always see in young players. So yeah, 100% know where you're coming from. Gakpo 0 passes in 36 minutes. Enough said about that guy. Boring football. Agree 100%. Taking Rio off was embarrassing. I agree. It could have been another 5 hours. Yeah, we would have. The thing is though, the worst part about that was Chelsea were looking the more likely to score, if I'm honest with you. So if it was another 5 hours, probably Chelsea 3, Liverpool 1. Patrick says, to be honest, I'm sick of watching it every week. Me too, to be honest. I was debating not turning up today. What made me kind of finally turn up was the fact that it was an early game, so I could kind of get it out the way. But I know 100% where you're coming from. A Aditya says, who would you bring in to replace Slot? I mean, if you're available, I think you could do a better job. But if you are not available, then Alonso. Why did take Rio off? I think trying to protect his legs because he's young, that sort of thing. Slot out, same old crap every week. I agree 100%. And it's been like this for a good 6 months at least, which is why I think they really need to kind of make a change in the summer. And it's kind of why I can't get excited about any new players. Because people will ask, are you excited about this player? Are you excited about that player? And I'm like, no. Until you change the manager, I can't get excited about a player. It's like trying to paint your kitchen whilst the kitchen is on fire. I'm like, I can't get excited about any new designs in the kitchen because the fire is going to ruin whatever new design you print. Same thing with Slot. Can't get excited about any new player because it's going to ruin whoever you bring in. You need to fix that first. Yeah, taking Rio off was 100% a stupid decision. It's embarrassing. Fed up with the team. As Henry says, there's nothing exciting about the team anymore. There's 2 more games. 2 more games, as I said, then we get our lives back. Anyway, I'm going to go now because I need to do my exercise. But yeah, probably be back on... Is it Friday? Liverpool game is on Friday. Yeah, probably back Friday. I'll be back Friday for the Spurs title charge. As SYM says. I really hope we lose those 2 games. I don't hope we lose, but if we do lose, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. As Abdullah says, joke of the season. Uncle oil up. I don't have any oil. I've got moisturizer if that will do the job. Liverpool small team. I mean, they have been playing like a small team this year. I woke up at 7:30 in the morning. I woke up at 5 a.m. today, but that's because my brain is still in work mode. But nevertheless, I know where you're coming from. VAR, do us no favors. But I get where you're coming from, but I'm also like, if we're relying, we shouldn't have to rely on VAR to beat this team. We should be getting a couple of goals at the very least. Jones, Sabo, and Frimpong were the only ones good players. I'd add Rio to the list. I'd maybe switch Frimpong with Rio. Who would replace Slot? Hopefully Alonso. Curtis should start more offensive. His creativity is important. And to be fair to Jones, he's not the best player, but at least he'll run around a bit. At least he'll run around a bit. At least he'll run around, which is basically about as much as we can kind of hope for. Yeah, terrible officiating. Lottie says it's finished. Yeah, I just haven't stopped the timer because I keep saying I'm gonna go because I need to go. There you go. It's paused. Salah was right about this manager. Frimpong's not a winger. He's not a right back. He's not a chef. He's not a barber. He's not a garbage collector. He's not an accountant. He's not a doctor. He's not a developer. He's not an anything. I don't get why he signed Frimpong. I know why they signed Frimpong. Number one, he was cheap. He was 29 million. And number two, he's versatile, so he can play right back and right wing. The problem is he plays both those positions quite badly. You'd rather have a player who's a 9 out of 10 in one position rather than a player who's a 5 out of 10 in two positions, because then what's the point? Jones has been classed this season. Yes, he's had a few bad ones. Yeah, I think Jones can hold his head up high. Like he's not been that bad. Taron says Frimpong's horrendous. Curtis, are you Curtis Jones? Is that why you take Trent back? Gakpo is shocking. I agree. Lottie says, what do you think about Mbappe maybe joining? That's not going to happen. I guarantee you that's not going to happen. We can't afford his wages, number one. And number two, there's a good chance Alonso will be the next manager. And if Alonso is the next manager, there's more chance of my cat playing for Liverpool than there is for Mbappe, because Mbappe and Alonso got beef. So it's not going to happen. Neon says Chiesa is actually so bad. McAllister's so shit. Yeah. I mean, I can't even disagree. He loved Dutch players, true, but this is why I'm hoping they get rid of the manager and then they bring in players for the new manager. Dean peanuts. Are those like dry roasted peanuts? Because they are pretty good, but they have to be salted. I got peanuts the other day from the supermarket and they were not salted and they were completely not good. So I hope your peanuts are salted. I know that sounds a bit weird, but I think you know where I'm coming from. Mbappe will never go to Liverpool. Yeah, he's not gonna. He's not gonna come. There was a chance back in the day when Klopp was there, and maybe kind of before he went to PSG, maybe back then. But now this is not gonna happen. Dream of having Luis Enrique as manager. He'd be a good choice as well. But why are you angry? You still qualify the Champions League. Do I seem angry? I'm not angry. I'm laughing. I've spent most of today laughing, to be honest. How do I put a message on the card? There you go. It comes up on my screen and then I have to click it manually. Like magic. See, I can hide your message. I can show your message. Hide your message. Show your message. But yeah, basically they come up and then I can click on them. You see, Henry says, Slot will sign every player that is Dutch. I mean, he does like his Dutch players. Who you got? You got Van Dijk, you got Frimpong, you got Gakpo, you got Gravenberch. I think you got one more. Possibly. But yeah, change the manager first. Slot has to... for Slot to be sold, somebody has to pay money for him, which I don't see happening. M says, GG's man, I'm a Chelsea fan. To be honest, I think you were the slightly better team today. But we have to also remember it was at Anfield. So Liverpool should have been better. But the fact that Chelsea was slightly better at Anfield, you could say it was actually Chelsea that were better. But he's not a right back. He's a midfielder. I think Calvin Ramsey. Yeah, Calvin Ramsey. The thing is with Calvin Ramsey, whenever he plays, he looks pretty good. And I'm just kind of confused as to why Calvin Ramsey kind of never seems to get any sort of playtime. Because he's got pretty big frame. He's decently quick. He's got a good pass on him. He's a good tackler. I don't know why kind of Calvin Ramsey doesn't ever play. Gakpo can go to the bin, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I saw that. Ajax might be in for him. It'd be a good move. It'd be a good move for him. Midfield needs an upgrade. I agree. And the wings also need an upgrade, 100%. Get the fraud out. My whole thing is, I just feel like they were just going to wait until the end of the season and then make a change. A lot of people are losing their minds that... a lot of the journalists are saying that Slot's going to stay, but I don't think he's going to stay because the journalists are just repeating whatever the club tell them. Sometimes you need to just look at the evidence yourself, and the evidence says he's got 12 months left on his deal and he's not been given a new one. That to me says he's going to be out. Harrison says Chelsea were better. I say, yeah, I think to be fair, they were better. They were slightly better. I think that Slot needs to go. Everyone's losing their heads at the game. I agree. Slot needs to go. McAllister. I think McAllister will go 100%. Conor Bradley injury really hurt us. I hear where you're coming from, but the thing is, like, Conor Bradley is going to get injured every year. He's just one of those kind of injury-prone players. So I almost feel like Liverpool need to make their mind up with respect to a long-term solution. Conor Bradley is going to get injured every 5 games, just like Alisson. He's going to get injured every 5 games. So Liverpool are going to need to make their mind up about what they want to do. Can you put my comment on the screen? There you go. The reaction after Slot subbed Rio in says it all. Indeed it is. Indeed it does, sorry. Kukurea as a winger wasn't too bad. I mean, any player will look good against this team. Kumi says Slot will not be sacked. FSG won't pay the compensation. I think they would. I think the compensation when you've only got 1 year left on your deal is significantly smaller than when you've got 7 years. Like Liam Rossigna had 7 years left. In comparison, when you've got 1 year left, there's not much left. Amy says Slot is more than likely going to be manager next season. I hope not. To me, if for him to be manager next season, they would have to have a level of confidence in him. And for them to have a level of confidence in him, they would have to have given him a new contract or some sort of extension. Him having only 12 months left, to me, that says they don't consider him having a long-term future. So if they don't consider him having a long-term future, they would be open to making a change if the right man is available. Only Liverpool and Man City have play past injury time until they score, but that doesn't quite work out today because it did not score. Pep Guardiola won't come to Liverpool. If it was Klopp, Rio would start every game. Yeah, Klopp was more had more faith in the youngsters, Curtis Jones came into the team, 66 came into the team, and there were other players around the fringes who would at least kind of get a bit of game time back in the day. M got hate on a post for stating that Chelsea haven't won at Anfield for 5 years. Watch it happen now. I mean, they were pretty close. FSG are embarrassing. He has to go, blood. Jack Hogan. Slot out. Yeah, Chelsea were not outstanding, but that's the concerning thing, isn't it? That's the concerning thing. Chelsea were not very good, but they were still better than the Liverpool team. Jackson agrees. Watch the goal again. It was offside from the flick on two players. Went towards the ball. It was pretty close. But even then, the game itself, I don't think Liverpool created that many chances, to be honest with you. Like it was pretty close. I'd expect Liverpool against a Chelsea team who don't have a manager to do better, and unfortunately they did not. Rio has played more minutes than 66 did at that age, by the way. But Rio's an attacking player. With an attacking player, you can afford to take more risks, because if an attacking player messes up, it's not the end of the world. Whereas Trent was a defensive player. So I think with defensive players, they typically play a lot less minutes when they're younger. Because if a defensive player messes up, you're screwed. Whereas if an attacker's shot goes wide, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I thought Gravenberch played quite well today. I mean, he got a goal, to be fair. Rio came off for Isak. He left Gakpo and Frimpong on his I mean, manager clearly has his favourites. Gakpo did nothing, and I think Frimpong tried, but also ultimately did nothing. Subbing off Rio when we don't have Wirtz is so stupid. Rio was the only kind of creative outlet, the only exciting outlet, and we got rid of him. Pointless. Said to myself last night, what if Gravenberch scores to show who's the better, as in CDM? It was a good goal. Kumi says, I agree with you. If they're not renewing Slot's contract, FSG could let him go. I think that's the main data point. Slot signed a 3-year deal. So 2 years have gone now and there's only 12 months left. If he was staying, they would have given him a new deal. M says, even if Liverpool won 1-0, it's not good enough against a side that's lost 6-0 in a row and doesn't even have a manager. There was just like a random kind of ginger guy on the touchline. I don't even know who that guy is, but that's the guy that was managing, and he managed to get a draw at Anfield. I really wanted us to win that. I really want us to win kind of every game, but I think a draw is probably a fair result. Chelsea was slightly better, but a draw is probably a fair result, all things considered. But anyway, I'm going to go now, because I need to go do my exercise. But hope you guys have a nice weekend. Probably be back on Friday. Is the next game on Friday? I think Friday 8 o'clock against Villa. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I better go. Take care, guys. Have a nice weekend.